Yeah, that's the first one you said?
Well, she may show up, so just heads up. If you hear the door open, it's probably Rihanna. That way you won't be surprised or. All right, stop that music a minute. Welcome to New Moon. And what we're going to be doing today is working with some heart opening poses. We're going to work on some back bends. And this shirt actually inspired this practice. I wore this shirt at some point last week, and it made me think of a song. And then after I thought of the song, hey, come on in. I had little, you usually come in this door. So you probably went through a maze.
I did.
You're good, you're good. I'm glad you're here. I'm gonna grab you a bolster.
Just remind me to do that.
Yeah, we have mats. And you'll grab Bob.
You okay if I work on this door?
Go right ahead. I know you need to do it. Jen just left, or I would,
You just left.
yeah. I had just told them we had one more on the list, and you might push them back, so. All right, so this is what we're gonna be doing. Sorry, we have to get the door repaired. So this is the time. Sorry for the distraction. But I was saying, this shirt has a quote on it. And it doesn't say who said it, because the guy lived in the 1200s, right? They didn't have to say who quoted this, but I want to share it with you. It says, love is the bridge between you and everything. Love is the bridge between you and everything. And it's by Rumi. So Rumi was Persian, and he was a Sufi mystic. He was a poet. He was a philosopher. His dad was like, I don't know if he was like a Sufi preacher, but he was a theologian. And so he had his dad's knowledge, but then he also had some of his own teachers that he did these beautiful writings, beautiful quotes. I'm sure you've heard different Rumi quotes in the past, but this is the one that happened to be printed on this shirt. And I remember reading it last week, and I started thinking about an old country song. And I'm not a big country music follower. I'm more of a rock and roll kind of girl, but I did grow up listening to country. And this song that I'm going to be playing for you was actually released on September 11th, 1990. So we all hear that date, September 11th, and we think 9/11. But this actually came out 11 years prior to that. And I found it interesting that it was released on the 11th, and then 11 years to the date, catastrophic tragedy happened. And I'm bringing that up only because when that tragedy happened, what did we all do? We all came together, didn't we? Not only did people of this nation come together, but the whole world really came together with us. We were so united in that moment of tragedy. And then it kind of spiraled into something else entirely. But in that moment, we all came together. And so my point is, we shouldn't have to have a tragedy to be pulled together or to build a bridge with love. There is so much fear in the world, in the collective matrix. And I've talked a lot about in the last few years, there's two columns of emotion and two avenues that we can typically take. And one lands under that column of fear, and the other one comes under the column of love. And right now we're going through this time where we're moving from third dimension to fourth dimension, and they say we're evolving to fifth dimension, which is going to be amazing, especially for the younger people. So like 20, 30 years, it's gonna be a really great place to be. We're going through the muck of it right now, though. We're going through a major shift right now. And in this fourth dimension, it's a lot about clarity and division. And it's ugly, right? Just the whole thing that happened between Israel and Palestine. It's like, really, do we really need that? We've already been dealing with COVID, right? It's like, this is the message. This is the message. Doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. This is the message. Love is the bridge between you and everything. And so what's happening is in our media and everything, it's like pitting one person against another, pitting one group against another. And we have to stop. It's that whole idea of united we stand, divided we fall. And so this is the message that I really want to get across right now. Because the shift that we're going through started in 2020, but it's not going to end until like 2024 or 2026, I've heard. And it may seem chaotic and crazy, and it is, and it's going to continue to be that way. At least astrologically, that's what they're saying. They're saying this is what's happening, this is what's meant to be happening, because it's shaking up our foundation. It's kind of like a snow globe, shake it all up, but then we get to kind of rebuild, and we get to rethink our ways, and we get to reprogram our conditioning so that hopefully love can conquer. The light is winning. Let's keep it winning. And you're going to be listening to a song in one of the first poses. And those of you that are going to be doing this on video, you're probably going to want to listen to it through another device. And the song is by the Judds. Love can build a bridge. And because we're talking about, love being the bridge between us and everything, love being the bridge between one heart to another, we're going to be focused on postures that are creating the shape like a bridge or a rainbow. That's what we're going to be working on today. With these positions, we're going to be opening up our chest, which in essence helps to open up our hearts. So we are going to get in the first pose where we're actually using a block, a thick block. So if you grab the thin one, we can switch it out for thick. We're going to be tucking the tailbone, placing it underneath the low back. And you don't have to have it on its medium height. You can have it on a lower height or even the tallest height if you prefer. And then once you get it in the right spot where you can comfortably sit upon it, just relax and close your eyes. And I want you to take in the lyrics of the song.
With those shoes on my feet, share with you the last breath I've had to eat. I would swim out to save you in your sea of dreams. All your hopes are sinking. Let me show you what I do. Love can build everything between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? I would whisper love so loud, every part of you. Love and only love, joy and I would give my heart desire. First step is to realize that it all begins with you and me.
Love can build a bridge.
Between your heart and mine.
Between your heart and mine.
Love can build it.
Love can build a bridge.
Don't you think it's time?
Don't you think it's time?
Don't you think it's
Don't you think it's time? It's the main message I want you to gather from this song. Love is a bridge between you and everything. Now start to incorporate a yogic breath, breathing in and out deeply through the nose. Because our breath in yoga is the bridge between the outer and the inner realms.
when we stand together? It's our lives down. We can do anything, anything. Believe it.
You're in half bridge pose now. Be contemplative on how you can build a bridge. A bridge of love, a bridge of acceptance, a bridge of tolerance, a bridge of connection. So after hearing that song and hearing those lyrics, just know that this position is actually good for your spleen, good for your thyroid glands, and good for bringing circulation and energy to your own heart. We're going to release the psoas muscle. The psoas muscle is a muscle that tethers both the upper and the lower halves of the body together. It wraps around the inside of the hip and attaches to the low back. So from here, I want you to pick up your left foot and I want you to stiff arm your left knee. So your left arm is straight. The heel of the hand is blocking the knee from coming closer to your chest. The foot is flexed. So flex through your ankle. And you're trying to create resistance. So you're trying to pull the knee in, but your arm's blocking it. So what this is doing is creating tension in that muscle. And this muscle has been shown scientifically to be really involved whenever we're triggered with some sort of past trauma or with our emotions. And so we're going to create this tension. Now we're going to release the muscle. So send your left leg all the way out and down. So you're straightening the left leg, residing on your heel, and just soften your foot from there. Now your low back may sink a little bit more into the block, and that's okay, as long as it doesn't cause any pain or strain. If it creates any pain or strain, you're just going to rebend the knee and walk it back alongside your right foot. Otherwise, just be here. Take a deep breath into the front side of the hip, into your abdominals, allowing the belly to balloon up and out as you breathe in, and to retract and deflate as you breathe out. Now you're creating half bridge on the right side, full bridge to the left. Travel your left foot back now. Pick up your right foot, stiff arm that knee. Creating your own resistance. The knee's pushing into the hand's pushing into the knee. The foot is flexed, you're maintaining action here, even though you're not really getting anywhere other than creating the tension for the release. When we tense and release muscles, it helps to detoxify the muscles. you're fairly new to yoga, you may at one point, you know, either today or in the future, experience when we're doing hip openers, there may be some tears that swell in the eyes. And that's because this muscle is involved with our emotional body. Good, one more breath. Now send your right leg all the way out, settle the heel down to the ground, soften through the toes, and just be here creating a full bridge now on the right side of the body. Breathe into your belly. Let it bellow in and out as you breathe. And then go ahead and travel the right foot back. Tuck and lift away from the block. Send the block away with one of your hands and roll down one vertebra at a time. Keeping the feet flat to the floor, but now flipping your palms down beside your hips. All right, when you're ready, we're gonna go into a bridge flow. So as you inhale, press down through the soles of the feet, circle the arms up overhead. You're lifting thighs, hips, abdomen, chest, doing a half bridge without the block. Make sure your knees stay narrow, not sliding away from each other. And then as you exhale, bring the arms back around towards your mat, lower down one vertebra at a time until your sacrum and hands land together. And then that's gonna be with repetition. So inhale, you're pressing through the feet to fire up the hamstrings, to engage your glutes, your buttocks. And then as you exhale, you're coming back down softly and safely back to your mat. And then continue that as you breathe. Your inhale is opening the front of the body, stretching it out, but strengthening the back of the body. As you exhale, you're piercing the navel in, strengthening your core as you lower. I'll take this any day over sit-ups. All right, inhale one more, circling the arms overhead, coming into Setu-Bandhasana. This time, hold at the top, push down through the mound of the big toes. Keep the arms flat overhead, keep gazing up towards the ceiling. Take one last breath, and then as you exhale, gently roll it down. When you roll down, catch your knees with your hands, hug them in for a moment, and lengthen out your low back. This will provide a stretch there. After we were getting that contraction in the back bend. And this will give a little flush to the hips too. This is also great for bringing some compression to the belly, which helps with digestion. Take one more deep breath. Good, now circle over to one side of your body. Push down into the top hand and rise up. When you come up to sit, this time we're gonna be rainbowing the arms from one side to the other. We're gonna take the hands across towards the right side of your thigh. And as you inhale, the left arm comes up and then the right, and you're casting your gaze down where you're landing your hands towards your left hip. Inhale, the arms are gonna rainbow up and over to the other side. And then you're continuing as you breathe. Notice what muscles are being activated here. And the next time you come over towards the right side, just let your left arm hang towards your lap and let your head spill down towards the shoulder. Your right hand is propping you into place, but soften that elbow and shoulder away from the ear. Feel free to close your eyes. This is a great position to get into if you're ever like really stiff waking up with your neck. You have a crick in your neck. But this is also really nice. I've discovered this past year, I've had an SI joint issue on the left side. And if I'm not careful with it, sometimes the pain will shoot up to my mid-back. And this has been really helpful. On your next in-breath, let's circle the arms up and over to the other. This time the right arm hangs free and the head hangs down. So this is more of a whimsical, more of a passive type of stretch. We're just kind of releasing and letting go. Not only stretching some of the muscles, but some of the connective tissue that overlays it. One more breath. And then on your next inhale, reach the arms out and up. Lace your hands together and reach the palms skyward. Good. Exhale, bring the arms down. And we're gonna come up to stand at this point. Your blocks can be set at the front side of the mat in case you need them. And once you stand towards the top of the mat, look down to make sure one foot isn't leading ahead of the other. The toes are splayed wide and you're powering down through the soles of the legs. The more you push down through the feet, the more you're gonna energize the legs. Bring your hands to prayer position at your hearts. As you inhale, let your arms circle wide and up overhead. As you exhale, bring the palms together, come halfway down, reach out through the crown of your head. Your sits bones push towards the back wall. Now this may be plenty for you, and if you want to go lower, it's okay to bow all the way down into your Uttanasana, where your upper body hangs like a rag doll, but your legs still stay structured. Inhale, come halfway up, begin stopping at that 90-degree angle, let the shoulders roll back, elbows kind of squeezing towards the side ribs. So you're kind of weaning the arms back. Then take your arms to your sides, bring it all the way up to upward worship this time, palms glued together. And then exhale, bring the hands onto the heart. We're going to do a couple more like that, just to warm up. As you inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Keep the hands separate this time, the chin parallel to the floor, look straight ahead. Exhale, hands together, come halfway down and pause. Check in with your body. This may be enough for your back, it may be enough for your legs. Otherwise, you can go ahead and collapse over, hinging from the hips, bowing your head in. Inhale, come halfway up, that 90-degree angle. Exhale, glide your shoulders back away from your face. Inhale, take your arms out and up to upward worship this time. Exhale, bring hands down to the heart. All right, we're going to do one more of that. Let's inhale, arms circle out, gaze straight ahead. Exhale, bring the hands together, come halfway down. Crown of the head reaches forward, sits bones push back. Choose to be here or exhale, release. Continue to breathe in and out through the nose as you hold what's called Uttanasana. More of an intense stretch for the back of the body. Inhale, come halfway up. Pausing here on the out breath. And then your next inhale, gather all the positive energy and love you need. And bring it down once we come to your heart. All right, this time we're going to bring it on down to the floor. Inhale, circle the arms up overhead, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold. And then we're going to step the feet back to plank. Now, plank is a strengthening pose. Line up your shoulders, elbows, and wrists. Pluck your thighs up towards the sky and keep your head up. Slightly looking forward. And then exhale, bring one knee down and the other to tabletop position. Now, this is where you want to check in with your knees. If your mat is thinner, you may want a blanket to set below. All right, from here, we're going to inhale, take it to cow tilt, which is creating kind of a saddle in the back. And then as we exhale, we tuck the tailbone, we scoop in through the belly, arc high through the shoulder blades, chin to chest. And then the inhale, we're moving into cow. Exhale into cat, which is a counter stretch. Now continue this with repetition. Inhale, sinking the belly, opening the heart. And then exhale, reversing that action. Good, do one more of those. And then on your next inhale, create a neutral back. You're gonna send your right leg off to the side, plant that foot to the floor. Inhale, circle that right arm skyward. This is stargazer, taking a spinal twist. And as you exhale, take that right hand down and under your left, sideways. Inhale, opening it out and up. Good, exhale, thread and loop it under. And continue. So twist, help to trim the waist. They help to do the squeeze and soak effect to the abdominal organs and glands. They help to realign the vertebrae. They help to replenish the lungs. This time, pause at the top. Hold here and maybe crank yourself into the twist a little bit more, but without force. Just gentle encouragement. And then exhale, bring that right hand down. You're gonna lift the right foot up and flex it. As if you were trying to push open that front door. And then carry it behind your back. We won't hold that wall because this is gentle. That can be pretty fierce. Lower the right foot down to the floor and plant your back foot. Now shift your left shin back a little bit because we're gonna open up towards the windows again, except now we're in a different position. It's not stargazer, it's more of a side plank. Good, now take that right arm and reach it across your ear and puff up through your side ridge, your side body. So you're creating the shape of a bridge, the shape of a rainbow through your side body. That's it, yeah. Inhale, take that right arm skyward, and then exhale, come back into your tabletop position. Awesome, to the second side, left leg's gonna extend out, plant that foot. Now this time the leg's going off to the side of the room towards the blocks, yes. Inhale, take the left arm skyward. Exhale, thread that arm under your right side. Good, continue. Inhale, open up. If it doesn't strain your neck, you can look up. If it does strain the neck, minimize that rotation in your neck. Because only you really know what your experience is when you're doing this physically. Pause at the top now, stargazer. Maybe see if you can revolve more into your twist. Maybe it's in your belly. Maybe it's in your chest. Maybe it's in the shoulder or neck. For each of us, it may show up differently. Exhale, land your left hand. Pick up the left foot, and this is really going to strengthen that hip. We'll also have to strengthen the quads. Try not to buckle the arms. And then take the left leg back behind you. Sink the toes. Turn and plant your heel. That's it. Right shin shifts back. And the left arm's gonna open. So you're coming back into, that's it, your side plank. Now take that top arm over the ear and maybe puff up through your side ribs. We're creating a lot of these bridge or rainbow shapes today, remembering our theme. Love is the bridge between you and everything. All right, inhale, let's bring that arm up and exhale, come on, down to table. Good, we're gonna fold back into child's pose. If you have that blanket, you may want to take it away. We're sitting back towards the heels, stretching the arms out in front of us and coming down towards the brow. This is just gonna give us a little momentary rest, get the weight off the wrists. Let's take 3 more breaths while we're here. And know that while you're here, you're still receiving benefits. This is calming for the mind and nervous system. This is also good for the low back, hips, and digestion. Now stretch your arms out a little farther. Fingers travel away. Rock up to hands and knees. And then exhale, curl your toes under and lift up and back to downward facing dog. So this pose combines strength and flexibility. We're rooting through the hands as well as the feet, trying to bring all the energy up into our seat, up into the sacrum. So build up to that pinnacle. On your next exhalation, come down to your knees, untuck the toes, draw back into extended child's pose. Now we're gonna do that with the flow. Inhale, rock up, hands and knees. Exhale, curl the toes, launch into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Good, inhale, drop the knees, nice and slow. Good, exhale, untuck the toes. Push back into child's. Going with that a couple more rounds. Inhale, shift forward. Good, exhale, down dog. Inhale, settle the knees back down to your mat. And exhale into extended child pose. All right, we're gonna do 1 more of those. Inhale, rock up. Exhale, launch back. Inhale down to your knees. This time on your exhalation, see if it's possible for your body to wrap the arms around you and to create more of an egg shape with your spine. Meaning the shoulders kind of sink and melt over the knees and you're spilling down towards your brow. If that doesn't work well for your body though, you can always cross your arms to create a headrest. Beautiful. Take a few deep breaths as you go within. And then we're going to start working on some more heart opening postures. Before we do that, go within and affirm mentally to yourself, I relax and release from all outer involvements, returning to my inner haven of peace and love. All right, we're going to stretch those arms out again. We're going to rock up hands and knees. And then as we exhale, we're coming down to a prone position, face down. The hands are going to stack underneath the shoulders. We're rolling the shoulders back away from your ears. And the legs are going to lengthen back behind you. So lift and lengthen each leg. Kind of glue the tops of the feet down to your mat so that your kneecaps lift and you feel firm in your glutes. Inhale, just use back strength. So lift your head, shoulders, chest, and even lift your hands. Exhale, you gently lower to the hands and face. Keep your legs actively reaching back behind you. Inhale, lift up. This is all back strength. Good, exhale, come down. Let's do one more baby cobra. Good, exhale, come back down to the brow. This time we're gonna use the assistance of our arms. So inhale, you can press up, but you don't wanna straighten the arms. You wanna keep the arms bent and kind of hugging in. You got it? Good, exhale, lower back towards the brow. Again, inhale, king cobra. We're trying to be fearless. We're trying to let love be the bridge between one heart and another. Inhale, coming up. Good, exhale, lower. Now, separate your arms wide. Lower down to your right ear and cheek. Slide your left knee up alongside your hip. And just rest for a moment. Breathe especially into any pockets in your back where you may be feeling some heat or sensation from those previous poses. Send your breath and love there. Inhale, straighten out your left leg. Turn to your left ear and cheek, slide your right knee up. Flip to the inside of the foot and just take momentary rest here. You're still getting a stretch to the neck. We're still opening up the shoulders lightly as well as the hip. Just dialing it down before we dial it back up. Inhale, stretch your right leg back. Come to turn to your chin, find one of your blocks. And you're gonna hold that block between your hands and your arms outstretched. All right, I don't really remember many locusts coming in June, but we were supposed to get locusts. Did you guys see any? I didn't either. It was another place in the country.
Tennessee, they discovered, and we didn't get them all.
Yeah, we didn't get many. I kept hearing we were. Anyway, we're about to do locust pose. So locust pose is where we're holding the block and we're gonna lift all the limbs off the floor. So anytime we're doing back bending, right, we talk about it being a heart opener, but it's also back strengthening. It's glute strengthening, it's core strengthening, and I know it's not easy. All right, exhale, let's come back down. We're just gonna do 2 more. We're just stopping with the power of 3 today. All right, inhale when you're ready. Stretch through the limbs and lift. Hold and breathe. So bring your pose to life by controlling your breath. Exhale, release back down. We're gonna do 1 more. All right, when you're ready, inhale to locust. Exhale to send. Now slide your hands up underneath your shoulders. Push up away from the floor. When you slide your hips to realign over the knees, walk your hands back to realign underneath your shoulders. And then we're gonna do a counter, because that was a lot of back bending. Drop the tailbone, scooping through the belly. Bow the head to the chest, for creating your calf stretch again. And then inhale, neutralize the back. Once you neutralize the back, curl the toes, launch into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, travel the hands back in the direction of your toes, eventually landing your heels, coming into Uttanasana, and if you need to be halfway up, just bring your hands to the upper thighs instead. They both work. If you're all the way down in Uttanasana, we're going to join the others, bringing the hands to the upper thighs, lifting up halfway. And then inhale, lift the arms up overhead, palms joined together. Exhale, hands to hearts. All right, we're coming back into that flow. Inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, come halfway down. Create that 90-degree angle with your body. Choose to stay here or exhale, release all the way. Yogi's choice. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, we're pausing. Inhale all the way up to the top. Upward worship. And then exhale, bring the hands back down. We're just doing one more of those. Inhale up. Exhale, hands to the upper thighs. Exhale, release. Now we're going to walk the hands out in front of us, coming into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, take a deep breath in, slow breath out. Inhale, land your knees. Exhale, extended child's pose. We're going to do that sequence a couple more times before we go back into a heart opening position. Inhale, rock up hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, sink to table. Exhale, back to child's. One more of those. Inhale, rocking up. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. And then exhale down to the knees. Back into child's. Relax your elbows to the floor, your brow to the floor. And inhale, slowly lift up. You're going to find your bolster. And you're going to slide it towards the top of your back. We're going to use that in just a moment. For now, we're coming down to palm position. Front of the thighs, down to the belly. We're going to lift the lower legs, flex the feet. The arms are going to swim back behind us. And on your in-breath, you're going to try to pull up, keeping your thighs on the ground. This is called shark pose. So the feet is like making the fin. Breathe. Exhale, release. Slide the hands up underneath the chest and push up and back. Now, if that was already challenging for you, you're going to do that times 2. So you're not even going to do this next time. So you can return to your belly, you can create the shark fin again and lift up. If you want to try this with me, you're going to take the bolster across. And your hip points will come right to the edge of the bolster. You're lifting your feet, taking a hold, and then flexing the feet, pushing them into the hands. This is a little bit bigger of a back bend. See how it feels. If it's too much, leave it out. That does make it more restorative. You can always return and do sharp. One of those blocks we're going to be using. So Let's come back up. We're gonna return to our back. If your hair's pinned up on top, it's not gonna bother you. But if you have it kind of the back of your head or neck, you may want to take it back. All right, we're gonna use this block again. So this time, you guys look really quick so I can show you what we're gonna do. Different. We're gonna be squeezing the block between the knees to lift, and then we're not gonna be done here. We're gonna test glute strength. And we do that by lifting one foot up. And if the hips dip or fall, you know you need to strengthen your glutes more. It's something that's used in physical therapy. And they say that, or at least the physical therapists have told me, that a lot of our issues come from where we have weak abs or weak glutes. And it can affect anything around that area, right? It could be sitting from the knees, the hamstrings. But if we strengthen our glutes, it'll help. Same with side joint issues and back issues. So that's what we're going to attempt here. So we're going to use this block between the knees or thighs. We're going to squeeze and hold it in place. And we're going to return to bridge, except this time we're going to be active. So the arms beside you, palms facing down, root through your feet, fire up your glutes, and lift off the floor. So really just your feet and your upper back, and the back of your head and arms are resting on the floor. And so this may be a lot already. If you're feeling this already, don't do any more. You don't have to test your glute strength because you're strengthening your glutes right now. But if you are interested in testing your glutes, lift your left foot, send it forward and out. Don't hold it very long. Stick the foot back down. All right, only a couple of breaths is all you need to test it. Right foot up and out. You do not have to hold it. Settle it back down. Now fire into your glutes. Tuck and lift a little higher so your pelvis is lifted more towards the sky. And then exhale, roll down. Ha. Lift your feet. Remove the block. Hug your knees into self. So by the way, if you haven't been practicing a lot, obviously we're doing a lot of back bending today. If you feel like you're sore tonight or tomorrow, get some Epsom salts. And you don't have to get it fragrance, but they do have like lavender, maybe some other fragrances, I'm not sure. You can even add your own essential oils, but add it to a bath, and it does help. All right, we're gonna let the knees roll over to the left side. We're gonna splay the arms out as though we're reaching to either side of the room. Let's lounge here in the twist. I'm mentioning that soreness because honestly, I'm sore. I did this practice in a more amped up physical way yesterday at another studio. My back's not sore, but my glutes are sore today. So it may land in your buttocks too. Feel that ripple effect of the breath rolling up and down your right side. So draw the knees to center. Exhale, let them roll off to the right. We're cooling down purposely slowing down. And so I teach this gentle class at the same time on Wednesdays, but on Wednesdays, we tone it down even more than what we're doing today. So it's a little less active and more restorative. We have been going through this eclipse season and this new moon in Cancer, and Cancer is a water sign. And there were several of us in the last class talking about how, we didn't necessarily feel it the day of the new moon. We felt it a couple days later. Yesterday especially was really funky energetically. It may have messed with your mind a little bit. And just know that we are energetic, intuitive beings. And sometimes we're influenced by the collective, what's happening that we may not even be involved with. Sometimes we're picking up on things that our loved ones are going through, and they're not even speaking about it, but we're sensing it and feeling it. And sometimes it's things resurfacing from our past, things that we need to sit with and be with, and be contemplative over, because these new energies are coming onto the planet, and there's a great cleanse and purging that's happening. And when you feel this, just be kind and gentle, compassionate to yourself. You may have found there are days where we can, yes, absolutely have that love as a bridge between our hearts and another. And there's other days where we fall a little short. We're human, and that's okay. Every day we can start anew. And I hope this theme inspires you. All right, if you want to roll over completely to that right side and sit up for a moment, I'm going to suggest a position for relaxation. And relaxation is why that's what it's kind of yoga. Because we don't normally gift ourselves that in life. So if you place your blocks side by side on their lowest height, and then send your bolster up like this, you'll scoop towards it, hang the legs over it, and then your arms can cascade down beside you. Usually this is nurturing for the back, and I wanted to do something nurturing for the back since we did all the back bends today. So we started off this practice talking about how love is a bridge between you and everything. And then we listened to the song, Love Can Build a Bridge between my heart and yours. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? And there is supposed to be contrast in the world. We are all made in our own unique expression. We have all had our own unique life experiences to mold us into who we are. But can we celebrate our differences and still find a way for love to connect us together? Now, I want you to be contemplative towards another Rumi quote. He said, our task is not just to seek for love, but to seek and find all the barriers within ourselves that we've built against it. Think about the protective armor that we've shielded ourselves with due to past experiences. Can we let that armor down? Can we let people into our hearts? And can we equally give from our hearts? Seek and find the barriers within yourself that you've built against it. Let's let that be the practice now. To hear the sound of the mindfulness bell, all you need to do is return to your breath. As you pay attention to your breath, maybe magnify the breath. breath that is the bridge between the external and internal realm. The breath that is the bridge between the body and soul. Gently begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. When you're ready, hugging the knees into your belly. Turning to one side of your body and coming up to take a seat. Pulling your hands together. We're talking about rooming today. Another quote that said, wherever you go, whatever you do, be in love. Let's let that be our yoga that we take with us off the mat. To be in love over fear. To allow love to conquer all. To allow love to be the bridge of connection that we're all seeking to see in this chaotic world. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Showing up today. Being gentle with yourself. I don't know, you may have felt like this wasn't so gentle, but we'll be more gentle on Wednesday because we use more of these props and we get to lounge and relax a little bit more. I usually do a blend of gentle and restorative on Wednesday. So if you can show that up, love to see you. Glad you found us. Yes, and just so you know, because I know this is a new location, right? There's lots of parallel parking here on the front side. And just on the other side of Grab a Green, which is next door, there's a whole parking lot that has tons of spaces. So feel free to park either of those places. Grab a Green is great if you haven't been there. They have great juices and smoothies. It's a healthy option. First Watch is also a great place. I've only been to Tupelo Honey once, so I don't really know much about that place, but I've heard it's good. I don't know. Yeah. And there's also, I don't know, we were doing Live on the Green for a couple months before we opened. And that's that little grassy area in front of Tupelo Honey. They have like cornhole, like a couple other games. I don't know what the other games are. Boku maybe.